Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this evening. It's the last meeting of Christchurch Council's Resources meeting, and I'd like to welcome you very much and those people watching at home. I am Councillor Peter Hall and I'm Chairman of the committee. Members and officers have their names in front of them for ease of reference. In order to assist the process this evening, I must ask everyone to ensure that mobile phones are either switched off or on silent mode. We would be grateful if you would remain quiet whilst the meeting is in progress. I'd like to remind everyone present that this meeting will be filmed by the Council and broadcast live on the internet and will be capable of repeated viewings. If you are seated in the Council chamber, it is possible that cameras will capture your image. By your presence, you are deemed to consent to be filmed and to use of those images and sound recordings for webcasting or for training purposes. Finally, there are no planned fire drills for this evening. If the fire alarm sounds, please evacuate the building immediately via the emergency exit at the back left-hand side of the room or through the way you came in. Thank you. Right, item 1 on the agenda. Apologies for absence, please, Nikki.
No apologies received, Chairman.
Well, I did have one from Councillor David Flagg.
Okay.
He's had an emergency to go to London.
No problem, Albert.
No, that's this one.
Councillor Officer's just not here, but he was here this afternoon, so
Right.
apologies if he's not here.
Right, okay.
Thank you.
Item 2, declarations of interest, members. No interest? No. Item 3, minutes of the previous meeting. Confirm as a correct record the minutes of the last meeting held on the 16th of January 2019. Proposed by the Vice Chairman.
Thank you. Proposed as head out.
And seconded by Colin Budge. Those in favour, will you please?
Thank you very much.
Right. Item 4, Quarter 3 Budget Monitoring Report. Mr. Dan Povey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman, and good evening, members. Yes, so the last budget monitoring report to come to Resources Committee, Quarter 3 of the current financial year. If I give perhaps a brief introduction, Chairman, and then take any questions at the end, if that suits.
Certainly, that's no problem.
Thank you. So members will see in paragraph 3.1 that the current prediction is for a net revenue surplus of just over £200,000 at the year end. In the main, this is made up of increased income over the budgeted amount in areas like car parking and licensing, and also combines with some salary savings in areas like organisational development and property and engineering. The salary savings are largely due to vacancies, which in the normal run of events we would have sought to fill, but of course in the circumstances that we're in, we've tended to try and get by with keeping them posts empty. So that's what's contributing to the net surplus. It's a movement from quarter two. Quarter two, we were predicting a surplus of just under 100,000. And the main reason for the variation is improvements in the planning income forecast and also in car parking income. The Appendix 1 gives members a full flavour of all the ups and downs that go up to make them net position. In terms of reserves, in section 4, members will see in the table the predicted balances at the year end. The majority, of course, are earmarked for either the capital programme or specific purposes. In the middle of the table, members will note unallocated revenue reserves of just over 1.5 million. That's the figure that within that table that's changed most since the last time I was here at quarter 2. And members will see the reason for that just overleaf in the table in 4.2. We've allocated from that reserve just over 400,000 to help fund the BCP setup costs, and that of course came to the December Resources Committee and was approved, but that's the main difference you'll see in the reserves. The capital programme is covered in summary form in section 5. There haven't been many changes really since Q2. We're looking at a programme in total of £8.8 million. Appendix 2 will give members the individual schemes that make that up, and members will see from Appendix 2 that the vast majority is programmed to be spent in the current financial year, or at least committed to, with over 7 million for the current financial year. So I'll leave that as the introduction, Chairman, and take any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Povey. Members, any questions? The Mayor, Councillor Mrs. Dedman.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. It's not a question so much as a comment, because if you remember, I was talking about something that needed doing at the allotments, particularly Rowshot Hill. And I'd just like to point out to members, because we are now the ward councillors for the Rowshot Hill allotments, are donating a lot of their ward budget towards the work that they needed doing. But I'd like to point out to my fellow councillors that the income has exceeded what we thought we would get, because they're all very much used and very, very valued. So I think we're doing the right thing, handing them over in good order.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Councillor,
just following on from what the councillor said, I understand from Mr. Batchelor that monies have been paid and they can buy whatever it is they wanted to buy.
that's excellent news, isn't it?
Chairman, can I just come back and say it was only lids for the water tanks, but they needed it.
Still £2 grand's worth.
Anyway, well done, Madam Mayor. Any more questions for our officer, please? Councillor Ray Nodgers, please.
Again, this is a question which is to do as much with the future as the past. What's going to happen to building control?
What's going to happen? Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, sorry. What's going to happen to building control? What, in terms of the direction of travel with the income? Is that what you're particularly referring to? I mean, as a service, it will join up with the Poole and Bournemouth elements to become a shared service, and I imagine they're going to see what they can do in terms of marketing to turn around the income. I don't really have a lot of detail of what they're going to plan to do, because that'll all be phase 3 for transition as they actually throw what are separate services together. But I imagine they'll try and address that income trend.
The questions. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Povey. You've done a brilliant job for us, and you couldn't be at the briefing because you've been so busy with BCP, but well done. Thank you very much. And thank you all the help you've given me over the last 2 years. It's been brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. And yeah, and I just say for the record, I've enjoyed coming to this committee and servicing it with information. So thank you.
Item 5, members, on the agenda. There's a report, and the Vice Chairman, Councillor Trish Jameson, is going to introduce this.
It's a long time ago as well, and I only just realised. Right on. I was asked a few minutes ago whether it's going to be across Dorset, and it's going to be actually across Dorset and including Bournemouth. We've got another meeting next week, which I guess will be my last meeting with them. It's going okay, and nobody's got their bills yet, I don't think, although I believe they are going out now. There were a few sort of hiccups on it, but they seem to be on top of the work, and hopefully it all works out well for all of us. That's about all, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Any questions for the Vice Chairman?
Not a question actually, but it's a commendation, because when you actually think of the progress in this area over the last 8 years, it's been absolutely extraordinary. You've seen 8 years ago, each council was dealing with its own area. It's had its own software, which it was paying its own license for. It was quite the most ridiculous situation I've ever come across. And now, if we're moving on towards a unified system across the whole of Dorset, I think it's absolutely commendable. Thank you.
You're absolutely right, Councillor Nottington. Also, I've been on that committee 2 years with the Vice Chairman, and it's really progressing exceptionally well. So I think it's congratulations to whoever set that up. It's brilliant. Any other questions, members? If there's no more questions, I'd like to declare this last meeting over. Thank you.
Chairman, before we go, can I just say thank you for chairing this meeting so well. You've been done very well, and all the members for their input. Thank you.